OutFront now is Jean Seroka to begin our coverage. She is the executive director of the Port of Los Angeles, which is the busiest port in the United States. And Jean, let's just start with where we began the program. The stunning number of a record the China record trade surplus of $1 trillion. Where are we with tariffs right now? I mean, are they starting to hit actual consumers even only now?
Yeah, they are, Erin, and that's right. But we saw a huge run-up in imports to the United States and especially through Los Angeles over the last 18 months with folks trying to stockpile, build inventories as a hedge against tariffs. And at the same time, China and others were making deals without the United States on traditional U.S. exports.
All right, so we've got consumer sentiment, as we talk about, near record low. You're going back decades to get to where it is now. And yet we're only starting to see the tariffs feed through to the consumer?
People held on as long as they could in the business community. They didn't know if a new announcement on policy was coming out in 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 months. Hang on as long as you can. The auto companies are a very good example of that. And now it's just reached a breaking point. More than half of our business at the Port of Los Angeles is with small companies, middle-sized importers. They can't afford to raise prices because they're competing with the big companies. And now that's changed.
Well, it's amazing because during the summer, and people, obviously, inflation has been a persistent and pernicious problem for people. But during the summer, you would hear the CEO of Amazon say, well, I'm surprised that we haven't seen prices go up yet. And now here we are.
And CNN reported just recently, coffee's up 9%.
Yep.
Furniture is up, give or take, about 12%. Shoes and clothing up 10%. This is real.
All right. So when you're talking to CEOs, then what are they saying right now? Again, I just put the context around it of the palpable fear that so many Americans feel, that they feel right now, the majority of Americans, they're already in a recession.
Still very cautious. Companies aren't hiring. They're not investing in capital equipment. They're not making big strategic decisions, trying to see how this all lands. And it's been some time now. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. The companies would hit the pause button. I haven't seen a release yet.
All right. So obviously all of this is very concerning, right? It's just in the context, especially of the Fed meeting. There was something that happened today, though, soybeans, which everyone may remember was very much in the headlines when Trump's talking about farms and soybeans. And Steve Bannon was saying, what are you trying to help China with soybeans? So Trump announced a $12 billion aid package for farmers to try to end around some of this damage. And he said this.
Since my successful meeting in South Korea with President Xi, purchases have been made and soybeans are being exported out of the United States to China as we speak.
That last part, a lot of soybeans are being exported out of the United States to China as we speak. A lot of those soybeans go through your port. Is that happening as we speak?
No, it's not. And you just don't flip a switch. These are contracts that are signed 3, 6, 12 months in advance with countries like Argentina and Brazil. It also depends on harvest in the Midwest of the United States and the Central Valley of California. We're not there yet.
So when he says soybeans are being exported out of the United States to China as we speak, I mean, how far are we away from that being a reality, if it becomes a reality?
Oh, it takes till the next harvest season. Now, there is some soybean
So we're talking
products.
6 months.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, this doesn't happen just overnight, nor after one conversation. We also don't have the details of that framework deal to understand what the runway is going to be for the soybeans.
Okay, so the reality there very different than what he just said. But the Trump administration, there has been lately some acknowledgement that there are issues. Right? I mean, you can't just deny consumer sentiment. I mean, the president has come out, obviously, and seemingly denied it. But others, with vice president, Treasury secretary, have acknowledged some of the issues. But what they have done is say, okay, maybe there's some issues right now, but everything is going to be great next year. Here they are.
I think next year we're going to move on to prosperity.
But I think 2026 is going to be the year where this economy really takes off.
Best sort of some faint praise there. I think next year we're going to move on to prosperity. But are you seeing the same optimism that we just heard there from J.D. Vance and Treasury Secretary Bessent?
Not really. I also don't see us falling off a cliff when it comes to the port as a leading indicator. Most of those purchase orders for retailers go in 3-4 months in advance of shipments to Los Angeles. We haven't seen a big drop off, but no huge surge. That's a pretty good indication. With Lunar New Year coming up in February, spring sales happening in April, nothing's really taking off just yet.